In this video, I interview Carlos Gil, international keynote speaker and award-winning Snapchat storyteller, and we talk about his tips for crushing it on social media this year, the biggest trends you need to be paying attention to, and his opinion on if Snapchat is dead. Coming up. YouTube Secrets is out now. Learn the strategies of today's top video influencers in this step-by-step YouTube success playbook. Get your copy today at tubesecretsbook.com. Hey, what's up guys? Sean here with Video Influencers. Help you build your influence, income, and impact with online video. And I'm super pumped to be standing here with Carlos Gil. How's it going?
It's going great. I'm excited to be here with you.
No doubt. We're here at Social Media Marketing World in San Diego. It's been a great event. And if you're just meeting Carlos, he formerly worked at LinkedIn. He's been doing corporate social media and branding for over 10 years as award-winning Snapchat storyteller and is really a social media expert. But if people are just meeting you for the first time right now, break down your story and kind of your journey to where you are today.
Yeah, absolutely. So my story actually started in 2008 as a result of a job loss. I used to work in banking, and 2008, the economy in the US took a downturn for the worse. I was out of a job. The same day that I lost my job was the same day I joined LinkedIn, and I started networking. I started doing what a lot of people today do, which is called personal branding. I saw LinkedIn back then as a resource that I could rebrand myself, and what that forced me to do was actually start up a company. So if you think of the years of 2008 and 9, there wasn't a lot of hiring activity, so I started my first company called Jobs Direct USA. It was an online job board, and I forced myself to learn how to use social media to grow my business. I had zero marketing budget, and I spent hours, countless hours, just studying Twitter, studying Facebook, studying the algorithm. YouTube wasn't really a channel that I dove into a lot, but it was just really self-teaching myself. Ultimately, my company got featured by several media outlets. We started driving revenue and business until I got recruited by Winn-Dixie, which hired me to start social media for them from the ground up, and that's really where my corporate brand career took off.
That's awesome, man. So you obviously have a lot of experience. You're always paying attention to trends. And we're going to be talking about some social media trends and your biggest tips for this year. But our first topic is really Snapchat, especially as an award-winning Snapchat storyteller. You've used Snapchat, been known for it. I've used it a lot. I've been in love with the platform. But there's this question people are asking right now, is Snapchat dead?
I would say yes. From a professional standpoint, there's marginal value there right now. And I know that there's folks out there that are going to watch this and they're like, wow, Carlos has been saying for the last few years, go hard on Snapchat. But let's look at things that really now are devaluing Snapchat. You look at the redesigned layout. You look at a big decrease. Like, we're here at Social Media Marketing World right now. I've talked with our homies over the last couple of days that we're getting thousands of views, and now they're lucky if they get a couple hundred. Yeah. And when you look at YouTube, when you look, which obviously you've got great SEO value on there. I'm preaching to the choir. Your content lives around forever. You look at Instagram, which is perhaps the hottest social network right now. It's hard to compete if you're Snapchat. Yeah. And when you think of guys like us that are constantly creating content, it's also taxing on us and our community to push people to Snapchat 1 hour. The next hour we're saying, hey, swipe up over on Instagram. And then the next we're saying, we've got a new video that just dropped on YouTube.
Yeah, that's so true. And even personally, Snapchat was a place where I was having so much fun. It was kind of a small community. I was getting about 500 views per story. But that was like 500 people I was jamming with all the time. And when that switch happened, I went to 8. I went from 500 to 8. And so in my opinion, I was like, that rest in peace. I mean, like it was just over. And to be fair, I don't know if Snapchat itself is dead because they've made some changes that could work for them. It seems more of like a TV station now with a lot more, news and all these other things. And like the really famous people, I still see, right? If you're still DJ Khaled or you're still Gary Vaynerchuk, but it does seem that for us, maybe average users, maybe we're like the middle class or lower class on Snapchat as in regards to reach. It's sort of just...
I think here's what happens though, Sean. We're speaking to a lot of the same people across channels. So a lot of marketers, a lot of creators, they tend to go chase a new shiny object. Right now there's a new platform called Vero. I haven't joined it. Sure. And I don't intend on joining. Are you on it?
Not yet. I've been hearing about
it. Not yet.
But yeah.
But here's my philosophy. Facebook right now gives me access to 2 billion people on the planet.
Yeah.
Right? So let's just start with that. I've been on Twitter for 10 years.
Yep.
And Twitter perhaps is my favorite social network. You've got YouTube already. You have Instagram. These are established networks.
True.
So why would I recommend my community, if they're already consuming my content, to now have to go somewhere else to consume my content? It's almost like counterintuitive. It's a little selfish, to be honest with you, because I'm a big fan of working within the existing framework. Like, we talk about the word community and tribes a lot.
Yeah.
But I also believe we're speaking to a lot of the same audience. So now if we're segmenting our audience out by telling them go to this new shiny object, what happens when that new shiny object loses its luster in a year? In this case, Snapchat, a couple years.
Yeah, that's a good point. And, at the same time, that could be discouraging. It was kind of discouraging for me at first because, again, I wasn't even seeing really for business. We run our business really off YouTube, Facebook ads. We love Twitter. It was kind of a blow, but I think this landscape is always changing, right? You got to go with the punches.
Absolutely.
Like, if something changes, change with it, right?
Absolutely. You have to be willing to evolve.
Yeah.
And that's something that, from a brand marketing standpoint, a lot of marketers out there have a hard time adapting to change. We're almost in the year 2020, and you'd be surprised, Sean, there's brands today that still don't know how to use Facebook.
True.
And I'm talking about large enterprise brands that have multi-million-dollar ad budgets. They're still dumping 97% of their budget into print.
Wow.
And and maybe even some digital display ads, but they're not really fully adopting social. So when you have brands that aren't necessarily adopting social and they're not going all in yet, now we start adding Snapchat into the mix, and we start adding Instagram and YouTube into the mix. A lot of stuff is going over their head.
That makes sense. Well, so let's talk about it. You mentioned some of the platforms that you love, but let's talk about social media trends this year. What are you focusing on right now, and what are some of maybe your tips, the platforms, and some of your tips to win this year?
Yeah, great question. So I'm doubling down on YouTube. My channel is Carlos Gil TV. I'm also doubling down on Instagram. And a lot of my content creator homies that at one point were just all in on Snap, I encourage them, seeing kind of where these trends were going with Snap over the last couple of years, start having an omni-channel presence, meaning start creating some content over on Instagram, so now you have a seat at the table. Start putting some of your behind-the-scenes content on YouTube so people see what goes into that Snap story. You know what? I started creating content and going all in on YouTube a couple years ago. I'm, from a professional standpoint, seeing a lot of the benefits on there, everything from lead generation for my business, having, my community expand because people see me on YouTube and they go follow me around all over social media. So once again, doubling down on what's hot and what makes the most sense.
I love that. Well, are you ready for the lightning round?
Let's do it.
Here we go. Lightning round. 3, 2, 1. Coffee or tea?
Coffee, black.
Cat or dog?
Neither.
Okay.
I'm not a pets guy.
All right. NYC or LA?
I live in LA, so I'm gonna go with LA.
LA. I like it. Last song that you had on repeat?
Woo! I'd say probably Bad and Bougie by Migos.
Okay.
Raindrop, drop top.
Must-read book every influencer watching should read?
Read Crush It by Gary Vee. That book made a profound impact in my career.
Mine as well. Great book. We'll link that up in the description below. Is there a failure or a mistake that sets you up for future success? And do you have a favorite failure?
Great question. Failure, first of all, is a mindset. So I see that in every failure in life, there's a learning opportunity.
Yeah.
I've lost jobs.
Sure.
I've been laid off. I've been fired. I've lost money before. Like, I've gone through hardships in life. One could look at these monumental moments as a failure. I just look at it as an opportunity to learn. And when you have this mindset that failure doesn't exist, and in every opportunity of struggle or adversity, there's an opportunity for you to rise up, man, you'll be unstoppable.
Strong. No miss morning routine.
Brushing my teeth.
Yeah.
I hate morning breath.
Bingeable Netflix show that you love?
Narcos,
my man. Do you have a favorite quote or phrase that you like to think about often?
Two phrases or quotes. One is "It is what it is."
Yeah.
It's one of these things that I constantly find myself saying, like, things happen in life. It is what it is.
That's true.
Another one is from the great Vince Lombardi. The harder you work, the harder it is to surrender.
Woo! Good. Thank you so much for coming on the show. If people want to connect with you, where are you at? And of course, we'll put all the links to Carlos' stuff in the description.
Absolutely. First of all, you can subscribe to my channel on YouTube. It's Carlos Gil TV. Visit my website, carlosgil.biz, and also check out socialmediacareeracademy.com.
I love it. And guys, thank you so much for checking out this interview. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you want to check out another video in our social media series, click or tap the screen right there. Until next time, video influencers help you build your influence, income, and impact with online video. Keep crushing it, and we will talk soon.